Check this out.
How rad that we have maybe the coolest man on the planet right now. Wow, and there's the room. This is intense. Does anybody else have?
Hello.
Have a word, Julia, for goodness sake. I see this again. Dear, oh dear.
How rad that we have maybe the coolest man on the planet right now. Wow, and there's the room. This is intense. Does anybody else have?
Hello. Hi there.
Good morning.
He's a fucking clown, at best. Have a word with yourself. What a pantomime.
Good morning.
Oh, this is such a thrill. How are you?
Pretty good, I guess. It's a little bit like running on fumes for a couple
What a smug clown.
of months, but
I would imagine. How much sleep do you get?
I get reasonably good, like 5.5 hours now. Last month I was getting 3, and 3 doesn't work any more than 2 or 3 days in a row. And I started to really feel like I was falling apart.
I'm sorry, sir, but you are not allowed to fall apart.
I won't, I promise.
You are the one individual who cannot fall apart right now. This is a thrill for me because there are very few experts of anything in the world, I think, and you truly have emerged as a personal hero for me just to have this little corner of your time.
Oh, well, next time you speak to Dr. Fauci, seeing as he's such an expert, perhaps you could ask him, Julia, why we're using the PCR test kit when it's not fit for purpose. Perhaps you could ask him that. I've got a question for you, my dear. Why are you so excited by this guy? And that was I believe you're an Oscar-winning actress. That was some of the worst acting I've ever seen, my dear. Shocking. And back to Dr. Fauci. Once you've asked him about the PCR test kit, can we then discuss Dr. Fauci getting his COVID jab? Should we have a little reminder, Julia? Bear with me. Is Dr. Fauci the morning after having his supposed COVID vaccine?
I've had over the years. I felt a little bit achy, but nothing to be bothering or distracting me. Went to bed last night, had a good night's sleep. Woke up this morning, the only thing I have is just a little...
Let me just come back just a smidge. 2 seconds.
Woke up this morning, the only thing I have...
Thank you, Doctor. Now, Julia is well, and anyone else watching this, perhaps you could explain why the doctor on the screen is having his left arm, is having the jab, but the following morning on television, he's tapping his right arm, complaining about the pain. And as many have pointed out, the image hasn't been flipped because the writing behind Dr. Fauci hasn't been flipped. So perhaps Julia and anyone else who stands by these people could explain why Dr. Fauci is feeling the pain in the opposite arm to what he had the jab. Very strange stuff. Let's just come back and have a little listen once again.
Achy, but nothing to be bothering or distracting me. Went to bed last night, had a good night's sleep. Woke up this morning, the only thing I have is just a little bit of a soreness in the arm.
Doctor, you don't stand on very strong ground. Let's just nip back to Julia. Dear, oh dear. Bless her having to go through this.
Oh, and there's the room. This is intense. Does anybody else have?
Hello.
Sorry, Julia. Perhaps next time you get your man on screen, rather than pretend to be blown away by this moron, ask him about the PCR test kit. Ask him about his COVID vaccination. And possibly have a word with yourself. This was the worst acting performance I think I've ever seen from you, my dear. Lost loads of respect for you. Just for clarity, this with Julia is from 7 months ago when the pandemic started. But of course, with Dr. Fauci's recent pantomime with the COVID injection, I just thought we'll put the two together. Thank you for highlighting who it was who highlighted the clip with Julia. You were right. Ridiculous. And it just proves the mainstream media and narrative literally is a pantomime earth. They want us to be silly pantomime dames in this daft pantomime production they call reality. No thanks.